Okay, welcome. Today I'm going to be offering a reflection about opening a closed heart, and this is in particular for those who went to boarding school, in particular boarding school survivors. So, enjoy. Okay, so today I'm going to be offering a reflection for those who really went to boarding school. This also relates to anyone in particular who feels they have a shut down heart, but in my work that I do on a therapeutic level, my coaching business, a lot of my clients are around from boarding school, and I'm just currently writing a book about boarding school as well and my experiences. And what I noticed and what my own experience was about my heart shutting down. And in relationships, this can therefore be a bit of a struggle, having a heart which is shut down. It's difficult for us to have empathy. It's difficult for us to connect to our children, to other people, because we don't have that space, that heart space here, which is open. So today what I would like to talk about is just about how you start to open the heart, and I'm going to talk in particular about 6 ways that I found which really help to open the heart. So, first thing I just wanted to talk about a little bit was just about my own experiences. So I went to boarding school from the age of 11 through till 18, 17, 18, just before my 18th birthday. And when I left, really my heart was very shut down. I had a very shut down heart, and I struggled to connect to others. I was very cold, kind of passive aggressive really. And my first relationship, my main relationship, I really didn't feel love for this person. So I am now married, and my wife is sunbathing just next to me now. And through being with her, I've really learnt to open my heart, and I've learnt to connect with another human on a deeper level. And therefore that's kind of spreads out into the work I do with children, and on other levels, this ability to drop more into my heart. So it's kind of really shifted from being very shut down, unable to feel, unable to love, to into a space where I can love others and feel joy. So the first thing I wanted to share and to talk about in order to really help open a closed heart is to do with the touch. I have personally found that when I closed my heart, I really just didn't like being touched. It was like just not wanting touch from others. And it kind of makes sense. They say in China or other countries where you have a child who's been orphaned, and especially in care homes for children, these children are not getting touched. And what happens is that they're just kind of, there's no life to them. But as soon as they start being touched, then they come alive again. It's like they kind of are able to love again. And I feel that's very similar for ex-boarders, is that from that age, whether it's earlier, 6, 7, through to 11, there's very little touch. There's very little connection with others. Certainly for me, I had girlfriends, but that was when I was 16 or 17. I didn't really have kind of touch or connection with others. So that's the first real way for me of connecting in with the heart again, is through touch. It's like just practicing, touching. And at the beginning, if you've been to boarding school, it might feel really strange. And maybe it's to receive a massage from someone. And yet I really feel just practicing touching the skin, and especially the area around the heart. And what you might find is that grief comes up, and it being okay, just welcoming that sense of, this is what it feels like. And to to kind of allow yourself to grieve. That's the first thing is around touch. The second thing is this, which kind of I talk about on that first level, is about this willingness to feel pain. So one of the things with boarding school is that we shut our emotions down. We don't feel pain. But if you imagine a hand, you've got on this side is pain, on the other side is joy, it's open-heartedness. So if we are unwilling to feel pain, then we're also unwilling to feel joy and love. So this is part of the work, is to start to connect and start to grieve, to let go of the pain. I remember in my 20s that I felt like I had this huge reservoir of emotion built up inside of myself. And when I started to work through this, let the tears go, and I was therefore then able to feel and connect to my heart. It took time. So and this kind of leads me on to the third point. So yes, have a willingness to feel this pain, but be patient. Don't try and blow the walls of the dam down, because that will just flood the valley below. Gentle. Maybe watch a film which you find emotional. It's like, and maybe you just feel those emotions a little bit, and kind of just lean into that. Watch the mind which says, no, you can't do it. And yes, change that around. Yes, I can do this. So just invite you to breathe. In and then out. Just placing your hand over your heart. And let's put it in the center of the chest, so more the chakra, the heart chakra. So breathing in and breathing out. Just imagining that you're breathing in and out through the heart. Breathing in and breathing out again. Breathing in. And just bringing your awareness and your consciousness to that space of feeling your thumb, your fingers over your heart, over your chest. And just softening the hand and leaning into this feeling. This is what it feels like to be more heart-centered. And there might be just a little bit of grief bubbling, sadness, joy, whatever it is, just leaning, feeling that. Breathing in and breathing out. And it to be okay, to feel that. So for me, just letting your hand drop down, that's one of the practices, that is a practice which comes from the Heart Math Institute, which is called the Quick Coherence Method. And that method is just a case of becoming more heart-centered. So that's the fourth point, the fourth way of connecting, is just doing simple meditations on a daily basis of really feeling not just the pain, but also the joy as well. So what I teach my clients is about gratitude. I say to them to really not only just to write down, I feel grateful that it's sunny today, but to actually feel that. To go, yeah, maybe looking at the contrast, it could be raining, but no, it's sunny today. And letting that fill your heart. And that just helps the heart to expand. So that's the fourth point, is around that heart coherence, connecting in with that. The next the next part for me, the way of connecting to the heart, is through the breath. Emma Seppala, in her book, the Happiness Track, she says that it's very difficult for us to talk our way out of stress, but we can breathe our way out of stress. And I feel that's very similar with trauma. And you've got quite a lot of breathwork paradigms which help to deal with trauma, pain. And in order for us to open our heart, sometimes it's important for us to breathe, feel the body sensations. So just a simple breath you can do is, you can place your hand on your heart, but you can breathe in for the count of 4, Hold your breath for the count of 7. And breathe out for the count of 8. And then breathe in and then just keep repeating. And what this can do is just opening the body, feeling what you feel. You're just allowing your body, and especially your heart, just to feel what you feel in your body. And again, it to be okay. So that's the 5th point. And then the last point, really for me, which I found key to opening my own heart, was about creativity. So if you're looking at the archetypes, the lover archetypes is to do with the heart, to do with feeling. Robert Moore talks about it in the book, The King, Magician, Warrior, Lover. He says that the man who is in touch with the lover, he is someone who not only feels joy, but also the pain. He doesn't shy away, he kind of can really feel this. And one of the ways, for me, to connect to the lover is through creativity. So it might be to dance, to get, to move in a different way, a spontaneous way. It might be to write poetry, and to really connect to not only the pain, but to the joy as well. So I really struggle as I look, and it's like connecting with my heart. You just speak the words, you let that creativity bubble forth. Another way is painting. That was key for me. If you trawl through my YouTube videos, you'll find some of me painting like 15 years ago. And that was one of my ways of healing, is like painting with my hands and splashing paint everywhere. It was like really cathartic. And that, for me, is connecting with the lover, connecting with the heart, letting it grieve, letting it feel. Letting those tears bubble up. And there doesn't need to be a reason. The lover feels. The lover archetype. It feels the grief at how we've been with the earth and how it's healing. It doesn't judge it, it just cries. And then when that flows, joy can return, presence can return. We can send ourselves and our awareness out into the world, seeing the butterflies dance across the sky, the birds call, the beings, the plants. It's like giving that energy. And we flow. And that is, for me, how we start to open the heart. We can feel both the light and the dark, the joy and the sadness, and it to be okay, to be open to that. So, those are some of the reflections. So the 6 paths, you've got, touch, willingness to feel the pain, patience to keep going. You've got the heart coherence method, breath work, and creativity. So those are just some of them. So yes, if you've been to boarding school, then I recommend, that you start to do this work. And, I had a really shut down heart. I couldn't cry. And now it's quite easy for me just to connect to my tears and let it go. And also to feel that. But I've still got work to do. I'm still a work in progress. So, yes. Please, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. And I'm starting to do regular men's circles on a Thursday night every 2 weeks. So the next one will be in 8 days' time, and you will find a link to that either by subscribing to my email newsletter, which I send out about once a month, or on my Facebook page, which is, you'll find that in the description box, and I'll put a link to that so you can join up. So just invite you to place your hand on your heart. Just breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Many blessings to you. May be well.